Hey guys, this is Garn and today we have something really special for you. Today we're going to go visit the Patpong Museum. Now let me give you a brief history about Patpong. Right now in the background you can see Patpong 1. This road in the late 60s, 70s, and 80s was the #1 red light district for foreigners in Bangkok. In 1968, a few bars were open to entertain American GIs coming on R&R from the Vietnam War. Got more and more popular. In the 70s, it was big with not only soldiers but also foreigners who were in town, and it lasted through the 80s. There were nightclubs here, there were girly shows, there were discos, and there were some pretty raunchy shows too, and it made Patpong known all over the world, and it became very famous. In the 90s, things headed south. That's when the owner of this property opened this whole street to a night market. So a lot of people would come to see the shows or whatever, but there'd be all these people in the night market, and slowly the night market kind of took over, and a lot of these places started to close. Right now there's still a few bars on this road and on Soy too. So anyways, we're going to go to the Patpong Museum, which just opened in 2019. The Patpong Museum talks a lot more about Patpong than what I just told you. There's actually a really interesting history behind Patpong, and we're going to discover it today. And we're also going to have a lot of fun. So let's go to the Patpong Museum. It's right around the corner on Soy 2. You can see there's still a few bars left here. Right behind me is the Black Pagoda, and above it is the Patpong Museum. Let's go upstairs. Here's a map of Bangkok in the 1880s when the population was about 500,000 people. Now the population is over 8 million, which would fill up this whole map you're looking at. A Chinese businessman bought the land surrounding what is now known as Patpong for only $3,500 in 1946. The property was originally an orchard with a teakwood house on it, as you can see in this model. So this is the son who basically built Patpong. He was the son of the original owner of Patpong Pavich. This is his son. He's the one who started the entertainment district here, and he's also the one who introduced all the night market in the 1990s. I think he's either retired or passed along now, and his kids are now managing the property. Air America was a passenger and cargo airlines owned and operated by the CIA between 1950 and 1976. It supported and supplied covert operations in Laos and Vietnam during those years. It also had its main Bangkok offices on Patpong. Okay, here we have an actual model of Patpong. This actually was where the CIA had headquarters for Thailand. And just get a good look at that. This is, I think, Soy 2, and this is Soy 1. So this right here was CIA headquarters, and also Air America had headquarters in this building as well. And you look down here, this was actually a safe house for the CIA. Right here. Doesn't look like much, but this is a safe house for the CIA. And you can see some of the old bars that were here. Old bars here. Supergirls, Kiss. This is King Square. Anyways, for those of you who've been to Patpong, you might remember a few of these. This building still looks the same with this sort of architecture there. This is the Hall of Fame for people who've been to Patpong. You'd never guessed had been there. So let's pick a few of them. Let's choose someone. Let's pick this guy. I think I know who it is. I think it's David Bowie. Oh, Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon used to hang out here. I know he did a movie in Cambodia, so maybe that's when he hang out here.
Okay, I think that's a lady.
This is a lady. Let's see who this is. Why isn't it working?
Oh, here we go.
Kendall Jenner.
Ah.
I heard that she actually came to see a ping pong ball show and wasn't very impressed. Let's do one other person.
How about this?
Okay, let's see who this is. Ooh, David Carradine. Mr. Kung Fu himself. And as a matter of fact, we all know he died here in Bangkok under very suspicious circumstances. Let's do one other person. Let's do this.
I know.
Oh, Hugh Grant. Yes.
I can't believe it's
I can definitely see Hugh Grant here. Okay, that's enough of that. So this is a big day hangout for David Bowie as well. He also made a picture here. Let's look at some of the movies that were made here. This, I think, was called The Ugly American. That's Marlon Brando. Here he is on Patpong. And, oh, the CIA had headquarters here. This was a bar in Patpong where a lot of CIA people met. They called them the men in the white shirts and the black ties. And the Patpong was a big hangout for CIA. Here's another picture of some CIA guys. This is back in the 60s and early 70s, during the Vietnam years. For those of you who are familiar with a lot of the Vietnam War movies that came out in the 70s and 80s, The Deer Hunter was one of the first that came out. A lot of this movie was actually filmed on Patpong. You might remember the bar scene where Christopher Walken goes in and gets a bar girl and takes her upstairs. That was actually on Patpong. And I think the shooting, the scenes where they're playing Russian roulette with the guns, that was also filmed on Patpong. Let's walk over here. Apocalypse Now, one of the best movies ever made about war, about the Vietnam War. Everyone knows Marlon Brando played this brilliant part about some colonel who'd just gone off the grid and started his own army. It's actually not made up. There was a guy named Tony Poe who was a CIA guy. He was a big war hero in Second World War. He fought in Korea, and he served with the CIA in Laos and in Thailand during the Vietnam War. He was ruthless. He actually had his own basically army and was totally off the grid, just like Colonel Kurtz was in Apocalypse Now. And he would go into Laos sometimes for 3 months at a time with his own group of people, and supposedly he collected ears. He was ruthless, but he was a real warrior. Here he was as an older man. He died in 2003, but he's really a legend in this part of the world. Here's Apocalypse Now, I think that's a AK-47 or a Kalashnikov. Everyone knows that after Patpong sort of lost ground to some of the other nightlife districts, such as Soy Nana and Soy Cowboy. Soy Cowboy was actually started by a serviceman, a U.S. serviceman who started a bar on this little soy right off Aso. And here he is. T.G. Cowboy Edwards, who started the first bar on Soy Cowboy.
Who's this?
This guy is Rick Menard, and I think this is him over here. So this guy is named Rick Maynard. He was a Air Force pilot in Vietnam, and then after that he came and started a bar called the Grand Prix Bar. Okay, he started it in 1969. What he's famous for is not only did he start one of the first bars in Patpong, but he's also famous for starting the go-go dancing on the bars, because what happened one night is the police came in and there was a drunk girl dancing on the bar. They said, "Oh, no dancing, no dancing." He said, "Excuse me, officer, dancing is two people, not one person." So the police go, "Okay, I guess she can do it." That started the pole dancing, and Rick Menard, because he started pole dancing, you're one of my favorite men. I have spent many a night in bars like his, enjoying the view. Here's some interesting pictures. This is, I think his first name is Claude Van Damme, in his famous movie Kickboxer, which was filmed a lot on Patpong and also in various other areas of Thailand. Now, remember when we were talking about Rick Menard, the guy who invented go-go dancing? This is a menu at his original club, the Grand Prix, on Patpong. And now we're going to go into a model of part of his bar where the CIA guys used to hang out. It's a model of Rick's bar. Let's go on in. And this is a model of his bar, and the CIA line up here and meet. Great job. I wish I had a job where I could meet in a nice bar like this every night. And here he was. Before he retired, he had a Patpong license plate in Las Vegas. I love it. Patpong in Las Vegas. So what you're seeing are some neon signs from some bars that were very popular in the past and have since closed. I'm sure that some of you have heard about the colorful and sometimes raunchy shows that went on in some of the bars in Patpong. One of the more popular shows was the ping pong ball show. When you see the game I'm about to play here in the museum, I think you'll get the picture. Boy, this girl is shooting at me like crazy. Here we have, is it a he or a she? Let's guess. Why don't you go first, Ron? Who do you want to guess?
She.
She. Let's see if it's a she. Oh my God. It's not a she. Let me guess. She. Oh my God, wrong choice. You don't want to be wrong with this. Okay, next.
Oh, I know her. That's
Her?
a he.
Okay, it's a he?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Let me see if I can get one. That, wait, I'm scared. She.
Okay.
Oh my God, they're all boys. Let's see, I thought that was a girl, right? Oh,
Right.
okay. This is scaring me. Which is why you should go to bars that say girls only if you want to be sure of yourself. Okay, so I hope you like our video of the Patpong Museum. There's a lot of history. It's a lot more than you think you're going to see when you come in here, and we really enjoyed it. Didn't you enjoy it?
Yes.
It was incredible.
So much fun.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be one of Bangkok's top attractions for tourists now. So when you are in Bangkok, please come by. I think you'll enjoy it, and in the future, we hope to see you on our next video together somewhere, either in Bangkok or somewhere else in Asia.